Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Uh, it's been, I would say, about like maybe a week since I've done one of these flights. You know how school is. School just kind of started picking up, so I had to take a break from this really fast. But we're back, and we're back flying the CRJ 700 this time. Not the 900, but the 700. We're going to be flying from Charlotte, obviously our hub, our base, to up to northern Ohio, Akron, Ohio. First time flying there, actually. First time flying in Ohio in a while. But there's a couple things I wanted to talk about before we get started. First thing is you're gonna notice is I did. If this will load, you know how this is. So we did fly a couple of events just to get the cash up a little bit. Just because I want this to be more realistic, not necessarily us grinding for money, but rather us grinding to join an airline. So I did fly the two events. One was like $150. One was $1,000. So as you can see, that did reflect pretty good in my bank account. Essentially, what we're gonna do with that money is we're gonna buy a 737 with that, just so we have like kind of not a complete overview, but like a complete kind of general. We can get hired by anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to have the options open to apply to whoever I want when I want. Uh, that'll open up a bunch of options. Like if we go to the job market, which I'll also bring up too. We have offers from Allegiant, which I really wanted to fly for, and we got offered to Spirit. So these are kind of the two guys that I've been looking at. But if we add the 737 and the A320, which we have currently, is what we're going to have, and take off these. This is kind of what we're looking at. Take away those. Here's our these are our options, and as you can see, it brightens it up a lot. You know, we have a lot more options, especially in America. You know, we have Allegiant, which we were talking about, a Velo. I'd fly for a Velo. Frontier, I'd fly for them. Northern Air Cargo, I'm not sure who they are, but I guess they're based out in here. I'd definitely fly for them 100%. I have a couple of 737-800s. I would definitely do that. Spirit, obviously. You know, so we have a bunch more options that are given to us. If we were, rather than us just having the Airbus, we can only fly for essentially Allegiant, Frontier, and Spirit. You know, I haven't decided yet if I want to include Canada, just because Canada isn't like out of the way. Canada's essentially like the 51st state, if we're being honest. You know, and we're gonna be doing a lot of flying into Canada, so I'm not 100% sure if I am going to apply to Canada. That's one thing I'm going to think about. But definitely looking at just a couple of the airlines. I'm definitely looking at like a Velo. I would say the airlines we're going to definitely try to apply to. It's going to be a Velo, Allegiant, a Velo, Frontier, Spirit, and Sun Country. These are the 5 that we're going to be applying for, and hopefully one of them will pick us up. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Just kind of what my plan is. And obviously, in order to start applying to these places, we're going to need $2,500, and that's kind of why I wanted to get those events done, just so I can have that extra push. Because we still need to gain about what $300, and making $38 an hour. That's going to take that's still going to take a little while. So that's still going to be something we can grind for, but it's not going to be as like. We just shortened the hallway a little bit. That's all we did. But just looking at the shop, you know, we still, for the 737, we're still going to need $2,500, you know. And we can start flying for them. And then eventually, you know, we can start looking at maybe flying cargo, you know. If we want to fly for a little bit bigger airline, we can maybe try to purchase the A310 for our stage 4, or for our 4-star, or maybe the 777. That's only 4,000, but probably either the A310 or sorry A300 or A310, or we can look at this McDonnell Douglas, which is also $1,500. And then so we'd have definitely be able to fly for UPS or FedEx, and just purchasing those two would open up the options for us to fly kind of some cargo routes, you know, because if we had those two, we could fly for FedEx, UPS. I guess we just have to buy one. FedEx and UPS would open it up, and then yeah, that's kind of like the thoughts right now. But that's kind of a long ways away. We'll be getting into those planes in a while. But right now we're currently in our CRJ, so let's go ahead and dispatch our flight. Let's get into it. Here, yeah. Looks good. Gonna be cruising at 29,000. Let's go and generate that. Actually, let's wait a second. Let me just look at the weather. So we got some convective activity over to the west or the east of our flight. Nothing too bad along the route. And a little bit of convective to the east, but nothing too big. Let's take a look at turbulence. Ooh, so we're gonna have some turbulence kind of arriving in. It looks like we're cruising at actually what 28 or 29, I said. So 29, kind of like along the middle of the route. We're gonna have a little bit of light turbulence. And looks like climbing out, we might have a little bit of a tussle right around here, but other than that, pretty good flight. So yeah, let's go ahead and generate this, and let's get into the plane. There we go. So I did remember this time to essentially hook up our thing. So this flight will count, and we'll just the landing rate and all that good stuff. So let me just put this right here, just so I know what you guys can and can't see. That's what I've been using this for. Perfect. So obviously we're flying our CRJ.
Exit 847.
Stand by. Got to go flight one. Southwest.
I always just use a radio, so.
Southwest 995 squawk 2.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We're at a CRJ 700, so let's just make sure everything's looking normal. So this is all good. We have our nav lights on. Our fuel pumps are on the off position. because we don't need them. This is all looking normal. Don't need the APU currently. This is off. Recirc fan is on. These can stay in the on position. Don't need these right now. Seatbelt signs can go on. In fact, let me go ahead and start the fuel fanning. So let's come to and unload this and import our flight. So we're going to be taking 10,000 pounds of fuel. So we'll turn this on. So we're about 10 anyway, so go and put it right there and turn that on. So that's all good, dandy. Pretty simple plane to set up. This is all good. Let's come down here, make sure yaw dampers are on. That's a glitch I heard. Mark trim, stab trim. We'll have that on there, and this all looks good to go. That's all good. This is set in there. So it looks like we're just about at the max landing weight. And seems like we got our PDC, so we don't need to worry about calling for clearance. Let's go and start setting up our FMS. So this is already in the nav position. Index here. Position Charlotte. We'll use GPS 2. Throw that right in there. Let's go flight plan. Let's send that flight plan to FMC. Let's play load. So on the departure end of things, we're gonna be probably taking off Army 36 Center. So we'll select that. And I don't believe we have a departure out. Do we? Oh no, we have the Weasels 5. Let's look for that. Weasels 5. Then quad transition. Execute that. Then arriving in to Akron. We're gonna shoot a visual, but we'll have 05 in there on the backup. I mean, we could just do vectors. Honestly, unless we have ATC on, we're just gonna probably shoot the visual, approach in, and then we're gonna take the zips with the JPU transition. Execute all that. All that looks good and dandy. So we'll go to the performance page. Where's that at? Performance is initialization, and we'll come to aircraft and send that over to the plane. There we go, cruising at 29,000 feet, flight level 290. That's gonna accept that. VNAV, so let's go ahead and look where we're gonna be climbing at. So we're going to be climbing at Mach 0.77. Put this up. .77 on the Mach. Execute that. Cruise wise, we're cruising at seems to be Mach 0.67, which doesn't sound 100% right, so we're just going to keep 0.74 in there. With that all being good, let's go ahead and pull up our performance numbers. So let's go to here, 36 right, calculate that, and of course it's going to be like a pretty simple departure out or long runway, so it's going to be pretty simple. Just going to put 48 in there, and obviously we're going to use 8 for our flap setting. So what we're going to do, as usual, come here. We're gonna turn this to V speeds. We're gonna set our V1 speed for 135, so it's 35, 35, 45, 35. 35, 45, 45, which is perfect. Let me click this. Let's set our landing altitude, which is 1200, so pretty high in Akron. There's 1220, perfect. This all looks good. Let's go ahead and start the APU, because it's not going to be too much longer. So we're going to click and hold this. 1, 2, 3. Door is open. 1, 2, 3. And the APU is spooling up. Perfect. So, with all that said and done, that's pretty much all set up. Let's make sure autopilot works. Autopilot does work. That's good. Make sure I can disconnect it. That's good. So, just want to make sure the autopilot works before we get going. We can lower this down. Make sure it's all the way up. Those are all good. And let's just look over our squawk. So, Claude, we need to maintain 8,000, so we can come here and set that in our window. 8,000. 8,000 is put in there. Departure frequency, that's only people online. We're going to squawk 3320. Let's come down here, click radio, and go 3320. I should be on standby for right now. And let's look at the speed restrictions. Because it says speed restrictions are fine, so obviously they want speed restrictions. So Charlotte Douglas speed restrictions. Accelerate to 250 if unable upon reaching 10,000 feet. Accelerate and maintain 280. So it looks like it's 250 to it looks like it's 250 knots, 10,000, then 280. So that's what those look like. So it's pretty simple to me. Everything looks good. Alright, so fuel pump can come on. This is all looking good. This is all good. And we're pretty much ready for push. Obviously, GSX has worked at the airport. I've gone into FS Dream Team and tried to figure it out. It's care that much. I'm going to see myself back. So just do this. So we'll come here. We'll put beacon light on. This is on. Everything's ready to go. Sequel times are on. And the come to the aircraft. Move the chocks. Actually, we get the parking brake on. Right here is fine. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to click and hold this. So 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds. Now we're looking for above 20 with less than 120 on the ITT. Kind of hard to see. There's 20%, less than 20 on the ITT. So let's go ahead and flip this up. Hold that. Go back to performance. What does it say? It wants 8.6 on the trim. 8.7 is fine. I don't care that much. Engine number 1 started. Let's go ahead and start engine number 2. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. It's important to like count to 3 because if you just click it, it's not gonna work. That's multiple times I just clicked it and it didn't work. And I was so confused on why, and that was why. You turn back to Atlanta Center. There we go.
Southwest 995, gonna maintain 6,000.
Sim maintain 6,000, Southwest 995.
Let's do our takeoff check, or our flight control check. Go full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, full left, full right. All that looks good. So we'll come down here and we'll change it back to the statistics page. Let's get our taxi clearance. Let me get my piece of paper out. Atlanta Center, Blue Streak, 51, 55. Just push back from gate Echo 29, ready to taxi down here in Charlotte.
American, you said that, who was that American?
It was a Blue Streak, 51, 55.
Alright, roger, yeah, there's 3 targets down there. Turn your transponder on for me so I can see it. I think I know which one you're other.
Roger.
Did you plan for the center or the right?
Are we playing for the center for our Blue Streak, 51, 55?
Sorry, say that again, the center?
Yes, sir. Are we playing for center?
Roger, Blue Streak 51, 55, runway 36 center. Let's taxi via Charlie. Charlie, Juliet, and Echo.
Taxi runway 36 center via Charlie, Juliet, Echo for Blue Streak, 51, 55. Taxi clearance. Let's go ahead and disconnect our park and brake. American 777 right there. What do you say? Charlie, Juliet, Echo. Charlie, Juliet, Echo. There it is right there. So we're looking at about a flight time of 1 hour and 30 minutes, so pretty short flight. But always fun flying to Juneau Airport. I can't wait till we're flying a plane like that. At least like some sort of Boeing. I don't mind CRJ, but it's I enjoy flying bigger jets. Maybe eventually we might even fly for the 747 for somebody, but that's probably way in the future. Unless we can get in. Yeah, I think the 747 is like 5,000 or something ridiculous like that. So we're not going to turn at this one right here. We're going to turn to the next. taxi a little bit faster, honestly. Bring up those throttles a little bit. Well, like, my chart, the reason I'm like stopped is because my chart says that,
Go straight 51, 55, continue your taxi.
continue taxi, sorry, it's just showing this is a runway for us, that's why we stopped.
Yeah, that runway is no longer a runway. That's now taxiway, Julia.
Oh, okay, thank you for Blue Chick 5155.
Yeah, so make a right turn there and go down Juliet, i.e. the old runway, and then left turn on Echo.
Alright, Roger, we'll take a right turn here, and then a left on Echo for Blue Street 5155. Yeah, that was confusing me. I guess this is no longer a runway. That's interesting.
Land Center, Southwest 995. Just to clarify, you did clear me for the approach, correct?
Southwest 995, I'm sorry, I was dealing with an issue. I will. It's going to maintain 4,000 during the localized report Atlanta inside.
Descent maintain 4,000 and we'll report the field site.
Yeah, over JJ, join the ALF post.
Atlanta Center, good afternoon. American 922 Heavy with Tango. Ready for propulsion engine start, gate Delta 11.
Is that in Charlotte?
Roger.
Roger, push and starts approved. Turn your transponder on. Call me for taxi.
Roger. Push at my discretion. Transponder on. And I'll call you when ready for taxi. American 922 Heavy.
Roger, you can plan runway 36 right. Southwest.
Runway 36 right. American 922 Heavy. Field site, Southwest 995.
Southwest 995, clear visual approach, runway 08 left. You can contact the Atlanta Tower 191. Have a good rest of your call.
Clear for the 08 left and contact tower. See ya.
Delta 912, leaving my airspace off to the west. Radar service terminated. Free change group. Air Mexico 409, leaving my airspace down to the southwest.
There's,
Radar service
Echo.
terminated. Free change group.
Really hilly, actually. Okay.
Air Mexico 409, radar service terminated. Free change group.
Frequency change approval, we go 409 Heavy. Thank you very much, Roy.
Bye-bye. American 2497, leaving my airspace off to the north-northwest. Radar service terminated. Free change group.
Have a great rest of your day for American 2497. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. United 334, descend via the Jonesy 5 arrival, Charlotte climbing north. The Charlotte altimeter is 3015. Altimeter 3015 and could you repeat the first part, United 334? Yeah, descend via the Jonesy 5 United 334, Charlotte, climbing north. Descend United 334.
Flight Center, United 1, level 360, 10 north of Greensboro.
Who's checking them?
The United 1.
Alright, got you, United 1, Atlanta Center, you are radar contact 360, welcome.
Atlanta Center, Blue Streak 5155, Flight Assured runway 36 Center at Echo 1, ready for departure.
Alright, Blue Street 5155 on departure flight heading 330, the Charlotte wind 010 at 7 knots, runway 36 Center, cleared for takeoff.
On departure flight heading 330, clear for takeoff runway 36 right, Blue Streak 5155.
Negative, cleared for takeoff 36 Center.
Apology 36 Center for Blue Streak 5155. Alright. Clear on the left, clear on the right. Stabilized. And let's go take off power. Power set. Hands on the roll. Crosswind direction. Release that back pressure. Release that forward pressure. Here that goes. And there's a pause for brake. Gears coming up. Hold this, and our climb to an altitude of 1,206 feet, which is right there. Now let's go ahead and turn on the left turn to heading 330. Start pitching down a little bit. Still trying to build up some speed. Let's go flaps up. Let's go climb power. Speed and autopilot engaged. There we go.
Center, hello, Blue Streak 5067, 10,800, climbing 14,000.
Blue Street 51, Blue Street 51. 5155, I believe it was, radar contact. Turn left direct to Jen, climb maintain flight level 290.
And that was Blue Streak 5067 calling.
Oh, another Blue Streak. Blue Streak 5067, your radar, you already radar contact. Climb maintain flight level 270.
270 Blue Streak 5067.
Blue Streak 5155, your radar contact. Left turn direct to Jen, climb maintain flight level 290.
Left turn direct Jen and 290 for Blue Streak 5155. I'm not seeing Jen anywhere on my flight planner. I'm gonna assume he means this.
Center, Delta 28. 27 policy 90, 8 miles south, Larry.
South 2827, Atlanta Center, your radar contact 290. Descend via the 52 arrival. Atlanta's landing east, altimeter 3012.
Now via the 52 landing east, American, correction, Delta 2822.
United 334, you can expect a visual approach, runway 36 center.
Visual approach, runway 36 center, approved, United 334.
And Blue Streak 5155, I was thinking of another guy. You can go direct to me.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant for a Blue Streak 5155.
Yeah, you got it.
Alright, so I'll contact you guys back when we're on an approach. Alright, so crossing through cities at 16,000 feet. Let's go ahead and start slowing down. We're direct to the path. Do next. Like slow down to like maybe 210 just by the time we get down there. We're thinking about 25,000 feet per minute. A pretty steep descent. We'll be above 3,000 feet when we get there, so should be good. We can go ahead and turn on those our lights. This all looks good. Logo lights, all that is already on. So we're gonna have a VREF of 139, so we're gonna approach in at 139. Let's go V-target of 139, let's throw that in there. Using flaps 30, then we'll just use first thrust at decel. So looking at this, about an 8,000 foot runway, so not extremely short, but also not very long. So we're right in that little middle area where it's a bit of a caution, but not. Not extremely, it's not that big of a deal, so. Our reverse thruster arm, we have our speed brake out just because obvious reasons. 23. We do want to be below 250. You can see we're itching down, inching. Alright. 22. we've been in the air for about 48 minutes. Seems about average. It's 10,000 feet. Let's just go ahead and like temporary like level off. There we go. Yep, jump start that. So, weather in there is pretty good, so we don't need to worry about any of that. Airport's somewhere over here. Just keep that speed coming back. We're about 18 miles from the airport, so I may have to pull the gear a little bit earlier just to help us slow down. We're gonna be 3,000 here, and then we're gonna have like a decent amount of time to slow down, so I'm not really worried about that much. Miles out, so let's really start thinking about slowing down. Let's go to 2,000. We'll hold it here, and now the speed's really going to start bleeding off. Once we get below 230, we're going to go ahead and put our burst option flaps. Eyes are on, everything looks good on this part. Looks good. These are in. Let's give our speed brakes down. Feet per minute, that's what it's showing on the next one, and we just need to be above 3,000, so I heard that speed's really starting to bleed off now. So we're gonna turn 700 or 700. So we'll go right there, and let's go flaps. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
There's the airport. Looking good. Let's go about like 180. I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's turn first mode on. We're going to go ahead and maintain this. We're going to intercept the glide slope, and then we'll just take that in. Pretty windy, as you can see. And glide slope is intercepted. Let's go and throw the gear down. I'm still 135 now. So power is idle. Let's go another notch of flaps in. one apparently. That was fun. I'll just take over. And we'll kind of hand fly it in. Yeah, the flight model in this has gone so much better. I mean, geez, it's really good. High on that pitch. Don't really need to worry about pitch as much as we did in the 900. Really windy. Wind's really knocking us around. A little bit high, taking out some of that power.
1,000.
We're mainly just looking outside now, not really worrying about inside. Head just into the patties. Lights below should be on. Yeah, not much of that. So it shows 3 whites. There's 2 reds right there. Really well. Just back on that glide path there, it is right there.
400. 300.
Landing.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down, hold that nose. Alright, first thrust out. What the heck? Probably gonna hit a bump or something. I don't know. Anyways, and the terminal was there. There's always some sort of problem with sceneries, I find. It's really annoying, but I don't necessarily care that much. You take a ride on Bravo and call it a day. No matter what scenery I buy, there's always a problem with it.
Please remain seated
never
until
mind.
the aircraft
Wait.
has come to a
Sort
complete
of,
stop.
kinda. I mean, it's GSX. GSX has been really buggy with me lately. Other than that, they did a really good job on the airport. Start. Turn the probes off. Pretend these don't exist.
Zone, the flight deck's captain's speaking. Currently not at the gate just yet.
Check light off.
Seatbelts fastened to get to the gate. Once we do get
Not
there,
available lit, so we're gonna go ahead and
seatbelt sign off,
wait.
you're free to move out the cabin. Thank you very much.
Oh, I guess it just didn't start. That's fair. Waiting for this to become active. Then we'll turn off the plane. There we go. Alright, seatbelt sign is off, and welcome to Akron, Ohio. Let's go and take a look at the flight report. So let me go ahead and turn that back on. Here we are. So about 57 minutes in flight, not bad at all. So it's gonna give us like a nice $30. Hour block time, post flight. Everything's good. Let's look at the flight report. So decent landing rate. Just the landing lights, 99% looks good. With the flight reports, we're gonna be flying back next episode. I'm not sure when that's gonna be. Probably in a day or so, depending on how school goes. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.